Alright, so our next amazing Python module is going to be our time module. So let's go ahead and first thing first, import time into our shell. Okay, so let's now talk what time is, how it works. So there's a function, okay, and the first function I want to talk about is called time.time. So just go ahead and type in time.time and then two brackets. So it returns me 143587446 point something. And all this is it's showing me the number of seconds that have passed since January 1st, 1970 at, what would you say, 0 a.m. So as soon as the new year started on 1970, that's the number of seconds have passed since then, okay? So you're probably wondering, well, what do we do with this information? I mean, time.time, yay, that's fantastic, but how does that help me, okay? So think about it like this. Let's say I had a number, or I'm sorry, not a number, a program, and I wanted to find out how long this program is taking me. Well, what we can do is, for suppose, let's say a function, we can first get the time value right now, let the program run, and then get the time value after the program has completely ran. So the code for that would be somewhat in a function. So I guess that might have been a bit confusing, but just stick with me here. So I'm going to call this function numbers, okay? And it takes in one value, which is how many numbers do you want to write. So the first thing we do is we set the time. What is the current time right now? So I'm going to call this time1 is equal to time.time. Then what we're doing is we're just going to print out a for loop which runs through all the numbers from 0 to max. So for I in range 0 to max, print I. And then as soon as that's done, I want to know what time 2 is. Alright, so think about it like this. Let's say we ran this function. What would happen? Time 1 would get maybe 1,400,3857, or let's say this was at 0, okay? Time 1 would get 0, then after this whole program ran, maybe time 2 will get 15, okay? So then we can get the actual time by subtracting time 2 minus time 1. So print out string of time 2 minus time 1, okay? That looks good. Let's go ahead and call numbers and take a look at what happens. So I want to print out the first 100 numbers. What happens? Alright, it's running. Ta-da! So based on my data, it says that it's taken 3.4 seconds to run this entire program. Now let's go ahead and try this out with maybe 300 numbers. Numbers 300. Alright, so let it run. This might take some time, so we will wait. Alright, almost there. Cool. So as you can see, it's now taken 10 seconds. So this is a very nifty function that you can check to see how long is your program taking. The basic concept is you know what the time is right now. And you know that in 10 seconds or in 20 seconds, the time will be 20 seconds more than the time is right now. So what you can do is get the time right now, let the program run, and then get the time after the program is run. So by doing that and subtracting the new one from the old one, you can get how long the program has run. Awesome. So this is our first function in our time module. Now the second function that we want to talk about is called the ask time function. So the function ask time takes a date as a tuple and converts it into something more readable. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at what it does. If I call time.askTime, okay, what happens? You get Thursday, July 2nd, 15/5/4/2015. Pretty neat, right? So using this function, what you can do is you can create your own dates, or you can get what's the current date right now. Okay. Now you can also call this time.askTime with a parameter. Suppose you want to get this format of a date, right? The way you can do that is by passing a tuple through askTime, okay? And the tuple that we need to create will be on the basis of year, month, day, hours, minutes, seconds, day of the week, and day of the, there's one more parameter actually, day of the year, I believe. and then daylight savings time as well. So it's a bit complicated, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. So time.asTime, all it does is it gives us the current date. Now let's say you wanted this format, but with different values, okay? So that's what I'm trying to show you over here. So create a tuple, let's call it top, and go ahead and enter the following values. So the first three is the basic ones, year, month, and day. So the current year is 2015. Let's say we're talking about April, so that's month 4, and the day, let's do 5th. Actually, no, let's do my birthday. So 2010, 15, okay? Then it's gonna ask you hours, minutes, seconds. So I'm not sure what were the hours, minutes, seconds I was born, but let's go ahead and give it a try at least. So let's say 8 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, and 12 seconds. Now, day of the week. So basically how you write the day of the week is by numbers. 0 is Monday, 1 is Tuesday, 2 is Wednesday, and so on. I believe I was born on a Sunday, so that would be 6 for me, okay? Then it asks for day of the year, so just put 0 as a placeholder. Nothing much to that. And then last but not least, it checks to see is there daylight savings time or not. So 0 if it isn't, 1 if it is. I believe there was no daylight savings time when I was born. So let's go ahead and do this. Now all we have to do is call our tuple using the askTime function. So time.askTime top, and you get Sunday, October 15th, 8:45:12, 2000. So this is pretty neat, okay? The askTime function basically does two things. Either it returns you the current date right now, or you can get the date and the time by passing in some few numbers, okay? Again, very neat function. If ever you want the date printed out like this on the console or somewhere, you can always use this time.askTime function. Awesome. So let's go ahead and talk about one last function. Now, this function is called the local time function, and it returns the current date and time as an object. And the value is in roughly the same order as askTime. However, if you print it, you'll get it class-wise, month-wise, stuff like that. So, take a look at this. I'm going to go ahead and call this function time.localTime, okay? And it gives me time.struct_time, TM year 2015, TM month 7, TM day 2, hour 15, minute 8, seconds 19, and so on, all right? And this is probably a little bit confusing to you. I mean, how do we access these values? How does it work? Well, what we can do is go ahead and set time.localTime to a new variable. I'm going to say time.localTime is equal to t, okay? And now what we can do is we can now set variables of this, okay? So again, a little bit confusing, I agree, but stick with me here. Let's say I wanted to get the year of today. The way I can do that is by saying year is equal to t0, okay? Let's say I wanted the day. So right now, as you can see, our first value is 2015, then the month, then the day. So go ahead and do day is equal to t2, and month is equal to t1, all right? So year, day, month, or actually year, month, day. Now what we can do is if you go ahead and print out year, day, and month, you can now access those values. For example, if you were creating a Python application where you wanted the date to be displayed up top, instead of doing this whole Sun, October 15th, 8:45:12, 2000, if you just wanted to get their date, right, what you can do is you can call the time.localTime function, get the year, day, month values, and then do whatever you want. You can just show the year, just show the day, show everything. You can maybe show it properly like this. You can say print, how does it work? It's what, day, month, year, I guess. I believe, I'm not sure. So day plus the slash plus the month plus the slash, right? How normal people write the date. So using the slashes and stuff plus day, month, and year. So if you hit enter, it gives me an error, unsupported operand type, so I have to convert that to string. My bad. Let me go ahead and do that. So str, this whole thing. Nope, unsupported operand type, so I have to do it individually. My bad, guys. So over here, remove this, remove that, convert str day, str month, and str year. And by doing so, what you'll notice is we'll now get our date in that normal function or that normal way that everyone writes, 2/7/2015. So there's many different ways to get the date, to get the time of the user. If you want to display it using your own special way, you're going to use the time.local time, access the values in it, and then display the date however you want. If you want it in the normal Python way, which is this sort of way, just call the time.asktime, and that'll return you the current date of the user today. Then we also talked about the time.time way up over here, which basically returns you the number of seconds since 1970 January 1st. Awesome. So we've talked a lot about the time module, and I think that's enough for, a long time. But before we go, there's, I think, one last function you should probably know. You're probably bored of time by now, but one last thing, and that's called the sleep function. So let's say I gave you, so for I in range 0,5, 0,5, I wanted you to print I. However, you didn't want the numbers to come so fast. Right now, zup, 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 zup. I mean, you can't really understand what's happening. What if you slowly wanted each number to come? This is where the time.sleep function comes. And all sleep does is it pauses the program you're running for how many seconds you want. Let's say I wanted it every second. So 0, 1, 2. You can see how it slowed down the program and made it easier for us to understand. So again, time.sleep is a very, very interesting function. And when we get onto animations and more graphical interface objects, this is where the time.sleep comes really handy. Awesome. So I'm now done with the time module. If you have any questions on how things work, why is it 1970? I'm actually not sure about that. But if you have any questions, definitely get back to me on the forums, and I'll see you in the next lecture.